So this is the Tobii EyeX controller, and essentially it allows you to interact with your computer using just your eyes. If that sounds cool, just wait till you see what it can actually allow you to do. Even I was blown away. The EyeX is really well presented. It's made to feel like it's the next big thing, as if it's the start of a new generation of products. Whilst the company has tried to streamline the process as much as possible, setup can take a little bit of time. You mount the EyeX controller onto your display using the magnetic strips provided. I had to install USB 3 drivers, the actual software to use it, an extension package, and then go through with calibration. But even setting up this controller was a weirdly fun experience. For calibration, for example, you need to basically look at different points in the screen. If you hold your gaze there, those dots will eventually pop. And it was at this point that I was thinking, holy this is, quite literally, a game changer. You can make the mouse follow your gaze. You can make the screen dim when you look away, and then appear brighter when you focus on it again. In fact, it can even recognize your face to the extent where, after sitting on your chair, it can straight away log you in. But there's no two ways about it, this is a gamer's piece of kit. And when it comes to games, the company has actually optimized so far 10 games, but they're working on more, to use something they call the infinite screen extension. Essentially, whatever field of vision you would originally have playing the game, extend it, double it, triple it, whatever you really want. You can look around inside the game, even if your character is stationary and you're not moving your mouse at all. It's one of the most impressive things about the EyeX. It gives you almost a virtual reality kind of experience without having to wear any proprietary headset. With Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is the game I tested, it wasn't particularly useful when it came to action scenes because the camera's already optimized to focus on the things you're interested in. But when it comes to sneaking around, running away from people, you can actually aim just by looking. So for example, you can lock onto targets just by using your gaze, which actually gives you a little bit of an advantage, and it does make you feel like you're playing more of a role in the game. A nice touch is that looking away from the screen, for example if you suddenly have to get up, will immediately pause it, and looking back will resume. The controller also adds a very interesting dynamic lighting perspective. Essentially, in the same way that human eyes take time to adjust to different lighting conditions, it actually implements the same effect within the game. Now whilst it is very convincing and very realistic, I'm not sure it particularly adds to it. The effect is definitely not for everyone, because sometimes it can actually restrict what you can see. But of course if you don't like it, individual effects can always be turned off. If you're recording gameplay for a very complex title, something like an RTS, where it's difficult to see everything that's going on, there's also the option to record where your eyes are looking, which could definitely help out your viewers. Now in terms of what you actually need to use the EyeX controller, you need a USB 3 port, 8GB of RAM and a quad-core i5 or i7 processor. Now whilst those requirements aren't exactly particularly low, anyone with a medium to high-end rig from the last 3 or 4 years should have no problem. The controller costs $139 US, which is actually slightly cheaper than I was expecting. The company claims that eye tracking is the future of human interaction with computers, and being the skeptic I was, I didn't take that literally. But after having used the product, while it isn't perfect, it could be integrated with more different products, it could have a wider functionality set. It is actually a very convenient thing to have, that harnesses something as simple and intuitive as your eyes and helps you to reach the next level of computer interaction. Thanks a lot for watching, I'm Mrwhosetheboss, and this is Insanely Cool Tech.